So the detective brought you guys into the tent and he had you a whole kind of map of the town laid out. And he began describing to you guys that they had basically been set up to watch, to wait, and to kind of contain this mess. They've been using basically a containment strategy of kind of burning in like a fire break around the outside, and then using fireworks as flares to signal the recently arrived Lyra to help kind of burn things away. As far as what's happening in the town, they've said that he basically said that it's been really hard for them to explore deeper into it, um, and that what they've discerned so far is that the academy in the center seems to have the most activity, but they've been unable to directly reach it, and that there is something going on with the storm that seems to be hindering at least Lyra's efforts to get close to it. Um, there might have been a couple more details in there, but you guys had some questions for Detective Burton.
So Roz will say, thank you for bringing us up to speed. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry if I seemed rude outside, but if you don't mind, how have you managed to hold out this long? You mentioned it's been almost 2 weeks. How are you holding up? Is this a losing battle over time? Are supplies dwindling? What's the overall picture look like?
And he kind of looks at the map. He kind of seems to be deciding how he wants to describe it, and he just goes, "Well, at first it was a lot rougher. We didn't have the air support, so a lot more of us were having to try to put ourselves in the way and lay down these fire breaks. We've already used up most of the fuel that we had, some leftovers from a merchant that just so happened to be in town at the time, a kobold. Uh, he had a lot of dangerous equipment with him, and we were able to repurpose it for our needs. But once Captain Lyra arrived, that helped ease that burden, and we've been able to just kind of man the defenses. As for holding out, I of course am not, you know, what's the word he would say here? I'm not susceptible to any kind of infection, but we've been trying to keep ourselves at a safe distance to avoid any kind of potential outbreak. But I will say there have been some interesting trends that I passed down the line, and apparently I'm the only one worried about it, as far as I know. But and he kind of puts his hands down at the table and he goes, most of the things that we end up fighting as they leave the town are weak or injured. I don't know all what that means, but from what we can tell, breaching this containment has not been the priority of most of the people or things infected here in Casimir. Now, I don't know if that's true. I just know what it looks like. But I know that that's not how this usually works. At least not with what we see in the Ashen Cordon.
How many would you say, even if it's just an estimate, I know you haven't been able to get to every part of the city, but how many would you say are still in the village, either those taken by the rage or not?
And he kind of there's a lot of like maps and papers and stuff, and he kind of grabs a paper and kind of spreads them out a little bit, seems to look at some stuff, and he goes, well, if I had to say, I'd say we're down to single digits percentage, at least those remaining, at least as far as we've been able to see. What small amount of ground our scouts have been able to move into the city, specifically during the daytime when it seems to be the least active, we haven't seen very many bodies, or what's left of bodies. So, as far as we can tell, and he seems to be trying to articulate it, let's just say that the amount of biomass in this village has substantially decreased. It concerns me a great deal, but I'm unsure as to why this is happening. What we do know is that there does appear to be some form of creature moving about at night, hunting on the outskirts of town. I do not know how this is related, but I also know that there is something else happening in the academy, but we are unable to ascertain what that is.
So Roz will look at the rest of the group real quick, and she'll say that we may have to head in that direction, although we'll have to be careful because nightfall is not far ahead of us.
And he goes, if I were you, and I am not, but I would consider dealing with this creature. We have lost a handful of scouts to it. If you were to press in there, I do worry that you would be taken out, or at the very least compromised should you try to push further in. It is why I have had to order us to fall back, as the risk to our own people was too high.
What
Fair enough.
exactly are you looking for in there?
You tell me.
You mentioned that you're making an effort to go in and explore. What, why? I feel like maybe there's a piece that I'm not understanding. Forgive me, I'm not from around here.
And he kind of looks around, and Kovac is there, and why don't you tell me what you know about this situation, and I will see if I can explain myself better.
I'm gonna look to Roz to help deliver enough information, but not too much. She's pretty good at that.
We've come across other white tiger folk and other species that have been affected by this outside of Casimir. A couple in Lighthaven, a couple in other areas. We have had some success with treating them. So essentially, we're looking to see if there's any way that we can make inroads that may not even involve a violent confrontation, depending on the situation. It's also where, and she kind of looks Albus's direction, even though he's probably looking at the floor or some such, but it's like, Albus, you're from here. I hate to ask because I know you're going through it right now, but what would be at the academy specifically that might be of interest, or what would make that a defensible point? What's special about the academy?
I mean, it's the place that every tiger folk goes to become a warrior. That's where we all train. That's where we all earn our sigil, where we earn our rankings and prove ourselves to be the true warriors that we are.
I have one other question along those lines, then, if you don't mind. Your father mentioned that your sister might be out running patrols, and she's kind of directing this question at both of them, him and the detective. Would it be possible to meet up with them? I don't know if you can tell us much about how the patrols work. I know one of the people on the patrols might not be our biggest fan, but is it possible for Albus to connect with his sister at some point in the near future? How often do the patrols go out? How much of an area do they cover? It'd be, I think, good for his...
He kind of holds up his wrists, and he kind of opens up a thing, and it looks to be some sort of timekeeping device, and closes it, and goes, well, she should be back in from patrol in about an hour or so to swap out. So I don't see any reason you wouldn't be able to wait.
If time is of the essence, I don't know if we got to wait that hour.
No, but we could...
Is time of the essence?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks to you guys. It seems like he seems to be gauging what you guys are trying to do.
Right.
And if you don't say anything, he'll say, you mentioned that you bumped into non-tiger folk. What can you tell me about them?
Well, this is where player Chris is going to have to go. It's been months since then, so I don't remember if I can describe them in great detail. Just that there were several different ones who were notably all not tiger folk, with the ones that Folia was dealing with.
We have one
Baird
of them with
was
us
affected,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, Baird.
Then there was like a wolf folk guy who was a trader from the north. There was the kobold inventor. Minotaur guy, was that guy also affected? That guy was also affected.
Oh, yeah, he
right?
was.
And was
There's a cat folk.
lady? Yeah.
Yep.
And what was the name of that village?
Well, we were in Dunlika.
Dunlika.
weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will mention that those people, to your knowledge, I mean, they were in Casimir and had been sent out of Casimir.
Right.
Yes.
So she will essentially say most of that in response, adding in the fact that they were from here originally and that they came across someone else who was treating them. She won't go into any more detail than that. And assisted with it and seemed to be able to make some inroads in whatever was afflicting them. And she'll gesture Baird's direction because she doesn't really care about him that much and is willing to throw him under the bus, but be like, this is one of the people who escaped from Casimir or was sent away from Casimir, and we were able to help them. There is some proof of concept for this, but I also don't know if it's really going to be easy to do for a whole big group at the same time.
And he goes, as you're kind of describing the people, he nods a little bit and he goes, you were able to help the people that we sent down the mountain. And then you mentioned Baird, he goes, I thought I recognized you from somewhere. Well, that's good. That is good that you were able to help, but I fear that is a separate problem from what is happening here. You'll notice that there were no white tiger folk amongst them. I believe that the source of this particular infection and what befell you, and he kind of motions to Baird, and the rest of your little unfortunate group were different. But I am uncertain what information you all are working with. And I don't want to cause any kind of undue concern with my hypotheticals.
I want to see if I can go up, maybe not so subtly, just go up to Kestrel and whisper in her ears, like, do you think the god is their I don't know, the best word I can think of is chosen is in that location, the one that challenged us?
What was his name? Because Doug, I had the same thought. He was the Avatar champion. He was the champion.
Well, so he told us to seek his champion, you and me, Doug, in the dream in Lighthaven, that guy's dream. The god of martial prowess appeared and he was like, yeah, defeat my champion and maybe we have something to, go over or whatever. I don't know. But he was like, yeah, fight a champion or something. We're like, cool. So Kestrel will be like, yeah, they go to the academy to become warriors. It's like their whole thing, right? Martial prowess. Might be where he is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that I'm not crazy in thinking that. Jason, first of all, you're doing you're pitch perfect the pilot from The Expanse right now. So I don't know if that's intentional,
that
but
is
it's
not what I was going for, but
It's,
unfortunately,
so spot on.
I cannot be a full-on Burton Guster and just be like, come on, Sean, what are we doing over here? I can't do that. So, because I can't do that the entire time. I'm just doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
So I want to ask you, Jason, because I want to make sure that this is intentional and not just we're maybe accidentally talking past each other. We have a reason to go to the academy, and we know that already. Steve thinks, are they intentionally withholding something because if there's an infection and all they know is there's some sort of disease, they talk about quarantining, which makes a ton of sense. But they were also talking about, we're trying to make inroads, we haven't been able to explore inside the academy, and I'm thinking, why would they want to unless there's something that they're not telling us? Is he like, from what I can tell, being intentionally squirrely, or are we just kind of maybe? Is it just a little bit of like miscommunication?
Make a insight.
Because I'm just thinking, why do you guys want to get in there? Why are you talking about even exploring at all? So let me roll this. A 7.
7.
Which is
And
not.
this insight is the worst roll for you.
Yeah, it is the worst roll for me, and so I did okay. So I'm probably not going to actually. Actually, you know what? I will call upon. Where are my bonds? Where's the fucking?
If you have a bond of 3, then that would make it a 10, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna call. Yeah, so I have 2 level 3 bonds. I'm gonna do the Dusk Feather one of like calling upon my past experience. Something just like doesn't seem right in what this guy is saying, and I want to try to see if I can get to the bottom of it and discern, is he just a bad communicator, or is he maybe leaving something out that would be good for us to know?
Okay. So bumps it up to 10.
Yeah. That's a point, Doug.
Your seasoned intuition here as an adventurer leads you to believe that he is leaving something out, but not that he is trying to deceive you. You get the feeling, how would I describe this? This is the sort of feeling you get where you stumble into a town, you're asking people, hey, what's going on? Do you have problems? What is this? And they're telling you about things, but they're leaving stuff out, not because they don't want your help or because they don't have suspicions, but because maybe they're not sure themselves, or they're maybe afraid of the implications. Almost the fear of like saying it out loud might make it true. And thus, they don't really want to put that out there, so to speak. They're dealing with more uncertainty in themselves, and that is causing a layer of miscommunication going outwards. But it doesn't seem like he is attempting to lie to you. But you are correct in that he is maybe not sharing everything with you.
Well, I guess I can just say this in character then. Well, team, we can wait here. We can certainly wait longer. We can wait till morning, but I also don't see a huge reason. Plenty of light, unfortunately. And the more time, I would rather personally work to find out more as soon as we can. But Albus, I want to know what you think. We could also wait for your sister to get back. You can talk to her. Or we can go investigate ourselves. What are you feeling like is the right thing?
I do not know if my sister would be willing to talk with me. I could try, but we did not leave on the best of terms.
Would you rather go see for yourself?
If anything has taught me, is seeing with my own eyes is the only way to really truly know what happened.
And
So-
my only other thing is, investigator over here said hunt for this creature. I'm of the mind that it sounds like if we go in towards the academy, it's gonna find us on its own. So, I say we just go in, but maybe that's not as measured as what everybody else wants. What do you all think?
I think that if there's a chance that even someone out there has been hiding away for 2 weeks, that's where the time of the essence is.
Agreed.
It comes from. So I feel like we need to head on in.
I agree.
Roz, what do you think? Too risky?
I think coming here was a risk anyways. Now that we're here, I hesitate to shy away from what's in front of us. We're a little beat up from our travels, but I don't know that waiting until morning is the best idea. I think as long as we stick together, we should be fine.
Astro, what are you and Wolf?
I think I have some concerns. But we can always talk about that another time. And if you want to go in, I mean, we can go in, but maybe, maybe I'd like to talk about some things. And I kind of side-eye the Inquisitor. Then maybe I don't want to talk in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So I'd like to think Steve can pick up on that. After this time. I'm sorry. What's the Inquisitor's name again? It's not Almond. It's a different guy.
It's
Right.
Burton.
Burton.
Burton
Okay.
Macklin.
Well, Burton, we appreciate your help. I think our team is gonna get sorted over here and then get ready to go in. We'll let you know what we find. Is there anything else you need to tell us?
And you can see a sort of a hesitation, and he kind of looks at like the map in front of him, and he just goes, "Look, I'm not certain exactly what's going on in this place, but I feel I should let you know that when our Captain Lyra has attempted to go to the academy herself, the last time she tried, her and her wyvern were struck by lightning. It almost downed them within the village, but she managed to get out, and she's now fine, as I'm sure you've noticed. But she has a particular theory about this, and I don't know if I want to give it much credence, but she believes that the academy is under the protection of the god of this town. Now, I don't know the source of this storm, but she believes it is divine in nature. I obviously cannot confirm this. But if it is, I feel I should warn you before you go heading off and thinking that you can just walk right in."
All right. Well, we're going to talk as a team, and we'll let you know what we decide.
And he just kind of nods and goes, "Okay."
Okay, so we're going to go over here. You go over there.
Does he leave? Does he
All
stay
right, leave us
there?
alone.
It's his tent. His
It's his
tent.
table. It's
We
his
should
table.
fucking go away. I don't
We,
know.
we,
Stay
we should
here,
go in
actually.
the
Will you-
caravan and
You
talk.
shoo-shoo.
We have our own place to be. We can go in the caravan and talk.
Yeah. So, Doug and Maya, didn't the god of martial prowess was like, seek me out, right? Like,
Yes. So in essence, it seems like he's waiting specifically for. I guess we could talk about this in character when we're.
yeah, that's true. Pretend Steve said that in character.
So you guys leave the tent. You head over to the wagon.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back
Hopefully
at the
making sure no one is
wagon.
around.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You do your best. They don't. No one like follows you. They seem to not be very sure what you're doing. Do you want Albus's father to join you, or do you ask him to leave?
I'm sorry, Daddy. Team unity only.
I assume he's probably going to stay behind in the tent with the Inquisitor.
He was not. He was going to follow you, but if you ask him to leave, he will understand.
Oh, I might have my own
Albus, actually,
conversation.
you probably want to talk to your dad anyway, so maybe
Yeah,
we
I
take
might
that
have my
step
own
now.
conversation with Dad.
Yeah, why don't you do that now?
Now?
Well, like, because we're getting ready to leave, so, like, if you want to be, like, talk to your dad before we head out, like, it could make sense.
I don't want to talk about it in front of the Inquisitor, though. I'm going to go out with you guys.
Okay. So your dad will, like, follow then for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
He would follow you out of the tent. Yeah, he has
Okay.
no need to be in there with the Inquisitor. Yeah.
failed to start camp. Okay. So I'm gonna stop my dad before we start making our way toward the wagon there.
Okay.
Father, I need to speak with you.
Of course, son. What is it?
When was the last time you saw Mother? When did you see her last?
Well, I suppose it was that morning, before everything went, before the chaos broke out. There was fighting at the academy, violence, the kind that shouldn't be happening, and she went in to try to stop it.
Violence between who?
I don't know. From what people were saying, the students, the teachers, everyone.
Was the chief there?
He was.
Did he remain with Mother until the collapse of the academy?
There was a merchant that had come into town. He had brought a number of devices, and he had wanted me to look at them. There was the fighting spilled into the streets, and when some of them came into the blacksmith, the merchant, he overreacted, and some of the devices detonated. They were, I was knocked unconscious for a while, and when your mother went to the academy, that was the last I saw her. I wish I could say that I remembered more of that day. I wish a lot of things, Elvis, had gone differently. But that's the last time I saw her.
God. I just wish I could have been there. I could have done something. But Mother, she thought so horribly of me. I couldn't be there anymore.
Yes, your mother was disappointed. But I don't think she hated you, son. I think she didn't know who you were. And I think that scared her. I know that maybe that's no consolation, but I don't think she hated you.
Did she ever speak well of me?
In her own way. In her own way. She thought a great deal of you, Elvis. Of your potential, of what you could achieve, the kind of person that you could become. She was too stubborn to see that maybe the path you were taking was not the one that she wanted, but I believe she loved you and I think she thought the world of you, son, in her own way.
I feared my sister feels the same hostility toward me, and I need to make it up somehow.
He just kind of sighs, and your sister, it's true. She is disappointed as well. But I think you would be surprised of her opinion. Her and I have discussed it at times. She did not like that you were not here, that all of this happened and you were not able to help. But, well, I think her reasons for I think the divide between you is more a misunderstanding than you may think, but it is not my place to say, Albus. That is hers.
I understand, Father. I knew I could always count on your wisdom and kind nature to help me focus on what is important.
I can't pretend that I understand the path you've chosen, son. It's not mine. It's not your mother's, but especially if you can help us here now, I can see no doubt in its merit.
I will help however I can, and I don't want to speak for my friends, but they have proven time and time again that they will stand side by side with me, no matter what the peril or the cost could be. And I trust them, and I believe you can trust them as well.
He nods and he goes, I'm glad that you found people that you can trust, son. We all need people like that in life.
We do. Speaking of, what has made of my old mentor, Taupas?
I believe he was one of the first to get out of the city. Your friend, the rabbit, him and the others, they were brought down the mountain by those, the non-tiger folk within the city that survived the attacks. They brought them out. He was with them.
He survived.
He did.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So he's no longer anywhere near Casimir where he could be harmed.
I should hope not. No offense.
I hope to see him again one day. I miss him.
I hope that we can build this place to something that it once was. Again, it would be good to have him there.
So where could I find Sister? Where will she be returning from? What area of town?
No, she was on the northern side of town, so she should be heading back from that direction when her patrol is up and they switch.
Well, I trust your opinion about her. I hope it's true. I hate how we left things, so I want to make amends, and I can't do it with Mother any longer.
I hope that the two of you can put your differences aside as well.
Thank you, Father. I'm gonna put my paw on his shoulder, and tell him I must return to my friends, though. We must make plans. I will find you again. I'm not gonna lose you either.
And he nods and he kind of gets choked up a little, and then he hugs you and pulls you tight. And he kind of pulls himself away and goes, I love you, Albus, and I'm proud of you. No matter what. And then
I love you too, Father.
And he gives you a pat on the shoulder and says, I won't keep you. You don't have to entertain this old man anymore. And he kind of walks off.
I'll just kind of give a little bit more of a sigh of relief and then walk back to wherever the rest of the group went.
Yeah. Well, the other group has been having a conversation the whole time.
Of course.
Yes. So what is that conversation, everybody?
Yeah, as soon as we arrive at that wagon into the, the comfort of somewhat isolation, I'm like, I have some concerns about, maybe we go in there and we gotta go fight something, and like me and my brother, turn into big scary monsters that look like all the other scary monsters, and, what if we win and they come investigate and they think that we're infected. They light infected things on fire. What if they light us on fire? Is one of my concerns.
And Wolf nods. He agrees. This is a concern.
I
Are
guess
we
what I
gonna
would
tell
ask.
somebody, or
I guess what I would ask is, what else would you have us do?
I don't know. Maybe give somebody some breakfast to be like, maybe we shouldn't set these ones on fire, or
They're gonna know that we're not infected, right? There's some specific tendencies by those who are infected, like rage. Sounds like.
yeah. And you've been a little angry recently, so
I guess
I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I don't think anything that I have done has been close to a mindless, rage-filled monster.
I just don't. Look, I want to go into. I do. I just feel like maybe some things could go wrong, and I don't. Maybe consulting, talking about that would be a good idea. I don't know. Maybe tell somebody. Do they know who we are?
Well, yeah,
When we
that's
go,
my thought. Yeah,
But-
why? Like, would it be okay to at least be transparent with Albus's dad? Like, he knows kind of what's gonna happen, and that you guys are gonna transform, and that way he can communicate. Or is that?
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I also don't know if there's any need for any secrecy at this point. The
Right.
Inquisitors have shown themselves to be remarkably well informed. I don't think Lyra has any doubts about who you are, Kestrel. So if we're going to tell anyone
don't-
about what we're doing, it should be her.
Hmm.
I wasn't around for that though, with
Mhm.
Lyra.
Neither was
so
I. All I have to
Oh.
base it on is all the fear that was struck in Gunnolf after the fact. Because I did not meet her either.
look, when we head in, we can let Burton know, hey, we're don't light us on fire.
Yeah, like
I got an idea. Okay. No, it's okay. It's all right. It'll be okay. I'll talk to him, and because I listened to how Rosalind talks. I can do some good talking too now. So, I'll talk to him.
what's
got
your
an
plan?
idea.
What are you gonna say?
What are you gonna say? Yeah,
Yeah,
What,
I
what are
don't
you
have the words. It's not planned out. I didn't rehearse it or anything. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna introduce myself and shake his hand, and maybe I can feel if he recognizes me, and if he does, maybe press a little bit. You
I
know?
mean, you don't have a blood bond with him like you do, Miss Sharp.
Maybe I believe
How
on
are
him then.
how are you
Okay.
gonna get the anchor right to feel you unless you have
Like I
a
just
blood
said.
bond with him?
I don't think you should bleed on the man thing.
Why not?
That's not.
It's
Why not?
Also, like Roz kind of covered, we're pretty sure he knows who you are. So, what is it going to change if he recognize? How are you going to respond if he recognizes you or doesn't recognize you? Because I'm not seeing a big difference in those two things, really.
I think you just can't see it the way I see it.
That's probably true.
I think we should not bleed on anybody and just be transparent at this point.
Okay. Well, I could go do that. I'm really good at doing that.
Not bleeding on people?
No,
Yes, and
what we could do is we could just head into town.
I'll just talk to him real quick. Don't worry about
No,
it.
we should probably
Maybe not.
communicate to somebody, hey, don't fucking kill us when we save the town. Right? But just don't bleed on people. Roz, do you mind going with her and supervising?
Babysitting.
I certainly don't want her going alone. So
Well, yeah, that's true.
Sure.
It's gonna be okay.
Now you
All right,
really-
well, I guess the rest of us, let's
Well,
get hooked
also,
up
Sorry. Also, I don't know if we talked about the whole. This is Maya talking now. We all sort of got on the same page about the champion and God of Martial Prowess connection. We're all on the same page about that. Did we just infer that we all had that conversation, or no?
Yeah.
I think Steve talked to Gunolf and Kestrel about it in front of everybody. I don't think it's a bad idea to now be like, did anybody else have any questions or anything? But I felt like we were on the same page. Chris and Albus, Roz and Albus, what do you guys think?
Are we on the same page?
Yeah, just about like this sure seems like the God of Martial Prowess.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
I guess
I just
The
don't know
champion
who
might
the
be at
god
the
who the god
academy.
chose as their champion. That's what I'm wondering.
Well,
That's what who we're looking for, right?
interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's my mom. Maybe she's not dead. Maybe it's the chief. I don't know. I don't like it.
Roz has questions.
They all.
One
Well.
being, can we beat the avatar of the champion? And one of them being, how is the god of martial prowess going to take to his champion being beaten if we were lucky enough to do so?
Champion rights.
How
Yeah,
much can divine beings interfere with the world other than through their champions?
You know, if Roz asked that, I would say, I think that's a good point, but I think we got to find out. As far as your first question, the can we beat them? As far as we know, we don't know a lot. I think is what Steve was trying to say. There's a lot that we don't know. I think we've grown together as a team. I think we've gotten stronger, and I think all roads have been leading us to this. So
How
I
are
don't
we
know if
gonna
we can-
know who it is?
We just they'll radiate some kind of aura.
Really?
We just need to be prepared
No.
to battle the
Maybe-
avatar
I
of
think
a
we don't
literal
know
god.
exactly what it will do. Are we gonna get into the temple and it's gonna fucking you've met my champion? Or is it gonna be mysterious?
It'll be
I
a
don't
big
know.
banner.
There's just
This is the champion.
This
Yeah.
is the
Fight
guy.
him! Fight him!
Happy birthday!
a sack champion across the front. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
The boss music will start, and the little health bar will show up.
Yeah.
On the
Oh
screen.
yeah, that's true.
And we'll get
We'll
a
get a
Fabula
cutscene.
point.
That's
Yeah.
true.
See, our characters know about the Fabula point system, so of course they're like, "Oh yeah, that means it's it."
Mhm.
I'll say you probably.
The other point about Ra's, and this is supposition. I have some experience with gods, not a lot, and there's plenty of differences. But I think if we beat the god of martial prowess, who is all about competition and being the best and the strongest, I would think that earns us a modicum of respect. Does the god smite us down on the spot for disrespect? I suppose that just hasn't. Feels like could have done that at any point. I don't know. There's a lot of assumptions that we're making right now, but I think that's part of why I want to find out more. It seems like we're on the cusp of actually finding out something for once, getting some of these pieces of this puzzle.
I guess my last question is this. Do we think that because the two of you, and she points at Kestrel and Gunolf, were challenged, that this barrier of lightning is going to affect us any differently?
Good question. Seems like an invitation was kind of given, though, so maybe it won't affect us as much. Because he's kind of said, hey, come fight, right? So,
Maybe
I
it's just
hope.
you two that have to go in there and fight.
Yeah, we'll move from
Bye.
the sideline.
They go to the
I know.
tavern.
I don't know about all
That's on fire currently.
Oh no.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah. So I guess yeah, we'll just have to find out.
I guess at this
Okay.
point, around now,
Is-
Albus would probably come walking up.
Yeah, I've been here.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hello, sir.
Oh, hey.
I heard
Um,
you guys talking about wanting to fight a literal god, and I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Well, and actually, if Roz, even though I don't think this is a good, Steve doesn't think this is a good plan, but if Roz and Kestrel are gonna go talk to Burton, there is one thing I want to talk to Albus about in that moment. So, if you guys, I guess Roz, once you guys are ready to leave, let me know. But if there's more that we want to talk about before that, like let's do that.
I'm ready to go talk to Bert.
Why do you think it's a bad
Yeah.
idea?
I just Steve thinks it seems like we're already in a good spot. Kestrel seems to have this scheme that she's gonna go do it. I'm like, I don't know.
It's
Well, that's
not
why
a
Roz is
scheme.
gonna be there to make sure
It's-
she doesn't bleed on anybody.
Yeah,
See,
exactly though.
Marie thinks it's a good idea. And she went to college.
I went to rock school.
Yeah.
I went to rock school.
So I would just kind of maybe somewhat aside, not to be secret, just whatever. I would go to Albus and I'd say, so we're going to look for the champion, chosen by the god of martial prowess. Have you given any thought to what happens if it's someone you know? If it's your mom, perhaps, or a family member, or a close friend? How will you react? Are you ready for that?
I don't know if I will be ready for it. I have put in thought into it, and I just worry that if it is someone that I do know, will I have the courage to do what is necessary?
Do you feel like it's a better idea to stay with your dad, wait for your sister, protect the area here? If you're not ready and you go in and you freeze up, I believe in you, but I can't imagine what you're going through. And if you're not ready, I don't want the group to ask you to do something you are not prepared for.
Well, I appreciate that. I understand where you're coming from. This is a difficult moment for me, and I believe this is a moment that has been chosen for me to make my redemption for the wrongs that I have committed in my past. It's a time for me to help Casimir when I don't know. I just feel like I can be there and I can be of assistance and I can help, and with your guys' supports and your help, I think I can overcome whatever may come from this situation.
We're here to support you. I wonder, and I want you to think about this, but in your mind, you're framing this as righting the wrongs of the past. I think you should give that some thought. You did what was best for you. You chose your own journey. And I think seeing it as some sin or wrong that you committed, turning your back on your people, I don't see it like that. So I hope find a way to make peace with your decision ultimately, and I hope that makes sense.
It does, and I hope I do as well. The Tiger folk have such a strong code and such a strong amount of honor. I can't shake it that easily. It's not easy to think as an individual in these regards, but we are
I
as one
understand.
unit.
I would just say, your path brought you to where you are now, and you are tiger folk out of your entire village most uniquely positioned to make a difference today. So I hope you consider that as well, that your path brought you into this position to do something no one else can.
I appreciate that. I
Think
see
about
it as
it, but,
I see it as an opportunity more than
Yes.
anything.
We believe in you, and we have your back. So
I thank you. I can't tell you the wave of emotions and the intensity that I've felt them this past how long has it been, like 4 hours? I have felt, and if I was doing this alone, it would be an entirely different story, but I just need to see this through.
then, we have your back. I take it back. I think you need to be there, and I think when the time comes, you'll make the right decision.
Oh, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for respecting who I am.
And then we do the predator high five.
Oh man.
All right, so you guys, Oz and Kestrel on an adventure.
So, on our way over there, once we've separated
Uh-huh.
from the rest of the group, Roz will kind of turn to Kestrel and hold her hand,
Oh,
and then say,
okay.
"So why are you freaking out?"
I just the lot of fire kind of reminds me of this place. I've told you about it before. It's called the Heartwood, but they call it the Ashen Cordon because they like to burn the people inside. And I mean, I know they're not burning people, but I saw a lot of fire on my way out here, and when we were going over the city, and the Wyvern Rider was burning that wall down, and I know you think that they know who we are, and I trust that, and I get that impression maybe too, but like I don't know what they know, and I don't wanna die, because I got a lot to live for now. So you understand what I'm saying?
I do, and I also don't know exactly what you went through when they were experimenting. I can only imagine, but at a certain point, I don't know if Steve would agree with me on this, but we have to be able to trust someone. The Inquisitors have not exactly been the most helpful so far in our journey, but they also haven't hindered us. And from what I understand, they have ways of making us tell the truth if they really wanted to put us to the test. So I think you should be cautious. You, more than anybody, have every reason to be, but at a certain level, they've been holding out here for 2 weeks. This would be a really stupid time for them to start lying now.
You talk about needing to trust somebody. I trust you. I trust the rest of us. But it's I don't really trust the kind of people that put me in a cage for years and years and years, and did terrible things to me. And I so I just want to make sure that I don't die, and that everybody else doesn't die because they're standing next to me. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I think we're finally hitting on the core of it there. I know you have been saddled with the burden on this, that you have this connection to the Grove, this ability to see inside people to heal them of this, but it is not entirely on your shoulders. And even if the majority of it is, if you trust me, then trust this. If Lyra or anybody else were to try to pull something, the difference between now and then is we would fight back. No matter how dumb of an idea it might be, because I get the feeling she's not someone to be messed with, but there's a difference between protecting something just for the sake of helping and protecting something you care about. And she or anybody else will find out the hard way how much protection that entails if they betray that trust.
Okay, I understand. And I'm glad that, Wolf pulled me aside when we were on our little hunt, and he talked about the strong pack that I had. So it's good to see that he's right. But I don't want to have to do that because we've already been on the run a little bit, and I know that we haven't been doing a lot of running recently, but we don't have to be more on the run than we have been. So just let me try, to do what I can. I know I talk too much and I say too much and all that, but if you're right and he knows who we are, then what's the problem? Right?
Sure, and we'll pass on the message, but I would probably prefer that you don't bleed on him.
I'm not gonna bleed on him. I already agreed I won't bleed on him. But if I blood on him.
No, see, this is what I'm talking about. The only thing worse than a thief that you are is a liar. It's written all over your face sometimes. I hope you know that.
I'm not gonna. And that sort of childish sort of pout.
Sure.
But only because you asked me not to. So
let's gauge his response first. I think there's very little chance, just from what happened with Gunnolf and Lyra in the past, that she doesn't already know exactly what we're about. But let's see what he says. It's also a good way to pass a message that if we are going in there, to not maybe fire on sight on whatever's coming out, especially if it's us. But that's about all we can ask for. Look, all we can do. I don't understand half of what's going on around me these days. These past couple of weeks have changed a lot of what I thought about this world, but the one thing I think this group can tackle is whatever's directly in front of us. I don't know how to solve curiosity. I don't know what the fuck to do about anything else happening to people in this world, but the one thing our group has done is tackle what's right in front of us. So let's see what he says and go from there.
Okay. And maybe I'll bleed on him.
Unlike Miss Sharp, if I feel like we have to do it, I'm okay with it.
Okay, you tell me though.
I'll give you a signal.
That's a good idea. I like that. And then I assume we're done talking, but
sure.
Yeah, are we going up to what's his bucket now?
Burton, yes.
Yeah, that guy.
You go to the tent, and not much has changed. He's still sort of looking over the map. You can, I don't know if you noticed, but you see him kind of moving a couple pieces around on it, things like that. And as you come in, he just kind of, he raises an eyebrow, but he also has to kind of turn a bit because he's like got a suit on. So like,
yeah.
Also,
they're ghost eyebrows.
They are ghostly eyebrows. This is a factual thing. And he just sort of says, "Welcome back."
Hi. I didn't say anything before. I want to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kestrel, and I hold my hand out because I'm pretty sure I've observed what a handshake is by now.
Okay. And there's a moment where he kind of like, you can tell he looks at your hand, he looks at you, he looks at Rosalind, he looks back at you, he looks at your hand, and then he kind of leans up off the table, and then he kind of extends his hand and he shakes it, and he goes, "Kestrel, huh? Okay, Kestrel."
So I just curious, if you know me already, or do you know us? Do you know who we are? I'm just curious. You don't seem particularly surprised by us being here.
And he kind of he gives a bit of a sigh that's like sort of, it's not like a disappointed sigh. It's a sigh of frustration. And he kind of turns back to the table and he's like, well, I don't know a Kestrel, but I've been in the loop for a while, at least. 19, that's what I knew you as. But I guess you're here now, going by Kestrel. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter too much at all. I assume the big guy of yours, the one that hangs out, doesn't say a whole lot. He's the one that broke out a little while back.
My brother.
Yeah. He got a name?
Yes, it's Wolf.
Wolf. Wonderful. Kestrel, Wolf. And he just kind of looks at the table in front of him. He goes, I don't want to be here. I don't like any of this. This is all, it's all shit. Reality is, it don't matter to me. If I die, it'll just bring me back. I'm in it for the long haul, you know. Service. Living, dead, doesn't matter. But all you, well, it's a real shit show, you know what I'm saying? And Yin, she's a smart one, but I think she keeps things too close to the chest sometimes, you know? I don't like it. This whole thing here, watch, wait. Wait for what? For you? I don't know. I assume so. That's what the impression I was given was. Wait for you. You show up. Why? I don't know. I think she just wants to see how all this is going to turn out. She doesn't tell me that. No, I'm just the one down here, takes her calls, sees what's going on. I told her, what I told you. This whole thing. The storm, all of it. She said it was interesting. Yeah. Can't say I like that. Interesting. It is interesting. Interesting load of shit, frankly. And he kind of he kind of leans back. He's like, I don't know. Forget I said all that, I guess.
Well, that's great. I just wanted to make sure that if we go in there, you weren't gonna like kill us after, or like light us on fire or anything. But I
And
okay.
he kind of goes, me? Nah, if you can get rid of all this, I don't really care what you are. I'm a dead man. What do I got to say about all this? I'm here because I'm good at doing all this. Orchestrating, communicating, getting things in line, and of course, can't be infected. Pretty sure that's the only reason I'm here. I'm not a risk, you know. Shit job. But,
Okay.
Were you expecting the full therapy session?
I was expecting about halfway through that for Kestrel to go, screw it. Just start bleeding on him
I
immediately.
know.
Yeah, at this point.
Trauma dumped on me. I'm like, are you okay?
And he kind of goes, look, I'm sorry. You seem like nice people. The reality is, Yin and her void ship are sitting up above the city. If things don't go well, I don't know the plan, but I'm pretty sure she'll just wipe this place off the map. So I can't promise you anything. Like I said,
Deshaun.
it's a shit job. But as far as I can tell, you're the only people that have even offered any kind of alternative. So if you can fix things, it's pretty cool to me.
We're gonna try to fix things, but I look at Roz and I'm like, the grove on fire quarterly year round, and it doesn't stop anything. So what, they're just gonna burn this place too? And for what?
And,
I mean, if we fail, sure, but
Burton, he just goes, see, that's what I've been saying. It's a battle of attrition, only we don't know how long we have to hold up. The numbers don't work out. As far as I'm concerned, the math is wrong.
okay. Rosalind, do you have any thoughts on any of this?
Oh, I have several thoughts. In fact, this even matches the one impression that I had of Yin myself. Let's just say I'm not
Okay.
super surprised that it boils down to something so simple yet complicated within that simplicity. But it does tell us that we have every reason to move now, before what's left of Albus's home is gone.
Right. I agree. Time does appear to be of the essence. I think we'll be going now.
And he kind of nods and he goes, before you go, I suppose given everything as it is, and he kind of walks over and he grabs a box and he kind of opens it up, and he kind of just turns it and then kind of puts it on the table, pushes it over to you a little bit, and just says that there's a flare gun, a little bit more reliable than the tubes we've been having to rely on with our scouts. There's 2 flares in there, and he kind of points at him, and he goes, there's a green one and a red one. Now, these aren't fireworks. These are real flares, alchemically made. They're good stuff. If things are going bad, the kind of bad where we all agree it should be stopped, that's what the red one's for. But if things are good, if you're in control of the situation, that's what the green one's for.
Got it.
Things are
And I
bad,
pick 'em
as
both
in
up.
we should invoke the void ship bad. Am I understanding that correctly?
And he nods and he goes, I don't know what that all entails. I'm just the guy standing above a table talking to 2 people. But yes.
Roz will take
Okay.
those because she's not letting Phoebe McSteelchild have them.
Can I bleed on him now?
And he just goes, I hope you all can fix all this. I can't pretend to understand why it's all happening the way it is. I don't even know how the gods fit into all of this. All I know is that something is going on in that little village. Some struggle bigger than, well, and he kind of like knocks the table. Bigger than this, you know, the reality, the substance of all this. I'm not what I used to be. I'm sure you can tell. And he kind of like taps the glass, and he goes, but that's got some benefits. I don't see the world the same way, and I've got a trained eye to a certain degree, looking for stuff like this. There's more going on here than, I don't know, an outbreak, a shipment gone bad, some container gets lost from the cordon, makes its way over here. Nah, the patterns don't match. The math doesn't add up. Only white tiger folk. Everyone else gets some other kind of sickness, one that can be cured. Why these ones here? Why not all of them? You've seen the ones in the camp. They're fine. Why elsewhere? I can't pretend to understand it. It's all... I don't have the right amount of data. That's all I can say.
Well, if it makes you feel any
That's
better,
great.
Burton, neither do we. Sorry, you were going to say something, Maya?
No, I was just gonna say, well, those are great questions.
Right. And then, as they're wrapping up, Roz will say to Burton, we're going to go in there and do our damnedest because we owe it to our friend. And if there's any of the survivors here that we don't know about, we owe it to them too. The next time you talk to your eyes in the sky, tell them that we're going in to try and fix this. And if somehow we manage to pull that off, I expect answers from the Inquisitors next.
And he nods and he goes, I'll let him know. And I'll make sure Lyra doesn't get in your way.
It's fine. We'll probably have a conversation with her too if we survive this, but one thing at a time. I appreciate your candor, Burton. I don't know what it was like here the last 2 weeks, but I can imagine. So thank you for being honest with us.
Then he nods and he goes, whatever we can do to fix this mess. I don't like all this, I don't know, sneaking around. We got problems to fix, you know? You know.
We do, unfortunately. All the best. We'll be back.
And he nods. And then he kind of goes back to looking at the map and he moves a couple things.
And then we start heading back to the group with that bomb to drop.
Mm-hmm.